The popular Tisas 1911A1 US Army pistol has, unfortunately, been discontinued. What you see in front of you, however, is the Tisas 1911 which is replacing it. The first change we see is that it now ships in a hard-sided case instead of a cardboard box. Upon opening the case, we see the next major change. It now comes standard with wood grips, because this is the Tisas 1911A1 US Army pistol wood grips. What you get in the box, besides the firearm, is a bore brush, patch holder, user manual, chamber flag, a disassembly tool, and this piece of sales literature which tells you some information about the gun. The handgun now comes with 2 Parkerized Checkmate magazines instead of the previous 1 Mech-Guard magazine. The markings have changed slightly as well. The Zig M1911 Turkey mark has been moved from the left side of the dust cover to the bottom. It's also a much shallower engraving and harder to notice as a result. The import mark now reads Tisas, Knoxville, Tennessee instead of SDS, Knoxville, Tennessee. The serial number has been moved to below the importer mark, whereas previously it was on the right side of the dust cover. Other than that, the handgun is pretty much the same, which is a faithful reproduction of the government-issued 1911A1 minus the grips and low ejection port. The old grips were a pretty poor attempt at reproducing the GI plastic grips, so most people just swapped them out with aftermarket grips like these or new old stock GI grips. I wish that with this update they would have gotten rid of the low-cut ejection port, but it's understandable why they didn't due to economies of scale. The MSRP is also increased from $419.95 to $439.95. However, the extra magazine, better grips, hard case, and inflation make up the difference for me. The first thing I did to my pistol was swap out the wood grips for new old stock government issue grips. I'll keep these wood grips as an extra set until I figure out how I want to finish the wood. Overall, my first impressions are positive. Stay tuned for my full review as well as a comparison with a real 1911A1. Thank you for watching.